not the greatest day for England. I mean, it's a relatively similar story to what I had yesterday. I mean, there was probably more upsides today, but there was also quite a few downsides. I thought Pakistan batted really well again. I mean, Salman Agha, 104 of 119. There was a bit of a weird kind of part of play today where Pakistan just didn't really do anything. It was like 69 for 2 was the stats for the first session. I thought that they had enough runs at that point and could just start to be attacking, especially because, I mean, they had Shaheen Shah Afridi coming in at 10. I mean, he can bat. I mean, he showed it today, 26 or 49. But again, you'd expect him to bat a little bit quicker. Even when Abrar Ahmed came in at number 11 and for some reason Shah Massoud decided that he wasn't going to declare, because I think he's probably still a little bit scared about his declaration in the Bangladesh test match, which I guess is fair. I mean, if you've just been bitten by... It wasn't a stupid declaration. There was nothing wrong with the declaration. Just losing after a declaration isn't great. I thought Pakistan played really well, but I just felt like they could have had a little bit more intent. Rizwan's wicket was diabolical. I don't know why he's done that. I mean, flat track and you're getting out for a 12-ball duck, chipping one to mid-off. I mean, come on. Jack Leach finished pick of the bowlers, 3 for 160 off of his 40 overs. I mean, that is some kind of... He really went for that. Root bowled 7, Bashir bowled 32. I mean, nearly 80 overs of spin. I thought the seamers were okay. I thought Woke showed a lot more control after his from kind of the evening session of day one. Cast did his job. Atkinson did his job. It's always going to be a difficult place to bowl Pakistan, especially when they put out a pitch that flat. Now, this game could have been changed quite a lot. By a couple of things, realistically. Salman Agha on 15 was caught, not caught by Wokes on the boundary. I don't think the technology, looking at it, was good enough to be like, oh yeah, he was out, or no, he wasn't out. It was such a difficult kind of decision to make with the technology that they had. I understand why Chris Gaffney went the way he did, but again, the issue is him taking the catch and his foot lifting off the ground is in between frames of the camera. So you're never ever going to get a correct kind of decision on it. Now, another issue with the catch that England had, was that Duckett's thumb was dislocated after the final wicket of Abrar Ahmed was taken, after Joe Root decides to bowl a bouncer round the wicket to Abrar Ahmed to see if he'll do something different, and he did. He genuinely square cut it straight to Duckett at slip. It was horrible. It was right on the end of the thumb. I mean, you look at the video and the picture, it's not good. His thumb was not good. But it does look like that it was a clean dislocation, so they've popped it back in, and he was showing some movement in the thumb. How that comes up tomorrow morning, I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait and find out. And I mean, Duckett spent like 80 overs at short leg. The only reason that he was at first slip is because Joe Root was bowling. If it wasn't Joe Root bowling, Duckett wouldn't have been at slip. I mean, just of all the times you've watched this team bat for 149 overs on one of the biggest roads you'll ever see in your life, and you're thinking, cannot wait to get out there and bat in this now. Fed up of being in the field, and like literally the last ball of the Pakistan innings, he then injures himself and can't go and bat. I mean, this game is cruel. It's a very, very cruel game that we play, and England's innings got off to an absolute stinker. The captain, Ollie Pope, who was pushed up to open after being in the field for 149 overs, trying to captain, he was out for a 2-ball duck when Amir Jamal took an absolute screamer at mid-wicket today. Like, it was an absolute screamer of a catch. I personally think, bit of a stupid shot from Ollie Pope. You're still new in your innings, just keep it on the floor, okay? Like, you don't have to do that. The pitch is, I wouldn't say too paced, it's just slow. I mean, that pull shot is always going to kind of come off in front of square on the leg side. So you've got to understand that. You've played 50 tests now, Ollie Pope. You need to understand that. And it just felt like, just dig in. Like, don't expose Root too early. He's just been in the field for 149 overs as well. there's no Duckett, so you don't know when he's going to be back. We could be in a situation where Wokes is having to bat 6. So just play an innings. There's runs to be had out there and just go and score them. But no, a relatively stupid shot. Luckily, Zach Crawley looks as good as he's ever done. I mean, Zach Crawley against Pakistan is just unbelievable. He loves batting against Pakistan. He likes batting in Pakistan. 64 off 64. Absolutely incredible player that he is. Joe Root looked pretty comfortable out there, 32 off 54. England ended the day 96 for 1. Naseem Shah picking up the only wicket of Ollie Pope. Zach Crawley really took the attack to Abrar Ahmed. And I thought that was a good way to go about it, is trying to get the spinner off their length. Pakistan tried to do something very similar to when Bashir came into bowl. No one really knows if Abrar Ahmed is any good. Was it a bit of luck in that Test series against England in 2022? I don't know. He hasn't been very good since, but he's been playing a lot of white ball cricket, so who knows? I mean, if I had to put where this game is at the moment, I mean, what? I mean, Pakistan are on top, but you'd imagine it's going to be a draw, but who knows? Pakistan and England are probably the most two stupid teams in the whole of Test cricket. So anything could happen in this game still. England could get bowled out for 200. Pakistan in their second innings could get bowled out for 150. You just don't really know what's going to happen. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? England's plan for tomorrow has got to be just bat all day, see where you are. If you score 450, get parity, declare at the end of day 3, try and bowl them out on day 4 and chase down whatever you can on day 5. I do think this pitch is going to take spin eventually. I don't think that you can have 38 degrees and the sun shining and the pitch not starts to deteriorate at all. I think it was interesting that England chose the light roller rather than the heavy roller today. So, yeah, the game is in the balance for me. I'd have it probably 30% Pakistan, 20% England and 50% draw at this point. That's, if I had to be quick viz for the day, that's where I'd have it. But again, who knows? Two very, very strange teams in very strange conditions, so anything can happen tomorrow. Now, quickly, Women's World Cup. Australia play New Zealand today. And Australia are just the best team in the world by far, and there is absolutely no one else that can touch them. Australia score 148 for 8, and they probably deserve more than that. Alyssa Healy with 26, Beth Mooney with 40, Elise Perry with 30, Phoebe Litchfield with 18. Okay, there was a bit of a collapse after that. They were 109 for 2 to 148 for 8 after the 20 overs. On these pitches, 150 is always going to be enough, especially with their bowling attack. Megan Shutt takes 3 for 3 off 3.2. That's ridiculous. 18 dot balls. I mean, hold on. How many balls even is that? That's 20 balls. She went for 3 runs off 2 balls and then 18 dots. Ridiculous figures. Annabelle Sutherland, 3 for 21 from her 4. New Zealand bowled out for 88. Amelia Kerr with a top score of 29. There is absolutely nothing else. Now, I made that my prediction would be England, Australia in the final. Australia should probably just play Australia in the final. Like, just play their B team. They are that good. They are genuinely that good at women's cricket. No one can touch them. Win by 60 runs. They go the second team to go 2-2. I don't particularly like that we're down to like 1 game a day. I'm hoping that that's going to change tomorrow, and I think it does. Scotland versus South Africa, India versus Sri Lanka. South Africa beats Scotland, India beats Sri Lanka. Is going to be my prediction. India, that's probably the best result that they could have, I guess. I mean, the issue is that New Zealand obviously beat India and they've got a better net run rate, so it's going to be close for that other spot, but I do think England are going to go through in the other group, and Australia will probably win the whole thing. I think the gap has closed, but not by much. It really hasn't. They're still the best team in women's cricket. Amelia Kerr for New Zealand today, 4 for 26, which was pretty good, but nothing else really good happened for New Zealand today. They probably expected to lose this one. They would have liked to have lost by less. They're going to have to win the rest of the games to go through, you'd imagine, which they could probably do. There's not too many kind of banana skins there. Maybe Sri Lanka's going to be a difficult game, but I think they should be okay. I'm looking forward to the games tomorrow, especially that India-Sri Lanka game. I do think Sri Lanka is a little bit better than everyone else is giving them credit for. But guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like. Please remember to subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next update of the test.